Hey there everybody, this is Johnny here bringing you another episode of my Vainglory gameplay. This time is episode 2 of my guild ranked play. So basically I just started this video just not long ago with regards to my my ranking ranked matches for my guild, and this will be my second episode here. Once again, I'm pairing up with one of my guildmates, Jiko, and the other player in the team who is playing Blackfeather in this case. He is just a random stranger that we got paired up together for the match. So we're up against a Ringo, Catherine, as well as a Taka, I believe. So that's gonna be the game for us. So off we go to start to clear the jungle. As you can see, I am playing in the jungle, which is quite unusual. If let's say you have a Blackfeather, usually Blackfeather would be in jungle instead. But he did say that he wanted to go for a lane. So okay, so in that case, I'll just stick to the jungle then. So which is not too bad for me. It's just that it's a little bit slower for Sky to get her items if she were to be in the jungle, but that's a good thing, you see. Actually, if you think about it, you have Blackfeather who needs a lot of items to catch up in the game, because Blackfeather, as many people would know, is quite weak early game, and he needs to get fed really quickly in order for him to get strong. So by going to lane, hopefully this Blackfeather gets to get his tier 3 items faster, whereas Sky is quite strong in all parts of the game, actually, even in early game too. So being in jungle, having a slower farm, it's not exactly very detrimental to her. Although for myself, I would have much rather been able to get my items much faster, of course. But for the sake of the team, I think this is actually quite a good arrangement if you think about it. And anyway, Blackfeather more often than not is able to hold himself in lane. So no biggie. Alrighty, so here we are just doing our plain old farming. I have to be careful here because they do have a Taka on the other side, and Taka's also quite strong in the early game, and it's a very slippery character, so I need to watch out for him. So here I am watching for the build for Taka, and I was quite surprised that Taka was building a chronograph, which was surprising because usually you would see Taka going for a straight damage item. But I can only expect that Taka in this case would then be going for CP, because chronograph, I don't know, it could build towards an aftershock, clockwork, you know, the usual. So he'd be relying a lot on his abilities. That means that he will probably go with CP. But this of course is a guess at this point in time, so I didn't bother buying defensors. I just go ahead and I just went ahead to buy my crystal bits. So here we are, once again, just hanging around the jungle, doing our farm. Blackfeather has company up there. We have Ringo and Catherine up there. I was a bit worried about how he's going to fare there in lane, but not too worried that I actually would have to go up to help him. So we're just going to go do our own farm, right? I mean, he decides to be in lane, he ought to take the risks. So okay, I'll just do the farm in the jungle then. I really need the money right now. And so far we're getting quite good money, actually, to be honest. Clearing farm pretty fast, as you can see right there. And going back to the shop again, trying to warn him away, and he's being bombarded really a lot by Whoa, but still manages to take out one of the heroes there. Awesome stuff by this particular Blackfeather. That was trying to burn Ringo down. Unfortunately, couldn't do anything about it. So I decided to invade their jungle, since there's only Taka in there, but nothing there in the at the top. So we do see Taka, so we decide, okay, why don't we just take him on? And Taka was trying to go stealth, but unfortunately, because I was still hitting him at that point in time, his stealth was then negated. So in case you guys want to know, although sometimes you realize, hey, why is it that Taka, even when taking damage, she still can remain stealth? Because he can go stealth rather, and the reason is because the timer on which he can that his stealth would be removed is that if he is not hit within 0 point something seconds upon hitting his Kaku button. You know what I mean? So basically, if he hits the Kaku button, okay, and if he's still being hit at that point in time, or within 0.5 seconds or something like that, upon when he hits the Kaku button, he will not go stealth. So that's the way it is. At least that's what I understand from the last patch that they did for him. So once again, I could be wrong, guys. If you guys out there, if you know better, please correct me on this knowledge. Maybe you can share this with everybody, especially those of you who intend to go to play Taka more often. I think it's very useful knowledge to know when is a good time to go stealth and stuff like that. So for example, if you're being hit by a barrage, like either suppressing fire or in this case forward barrage, where there's constant damage on you or damage over time, then it's probably best not to go stealth because you waste your ability at that point in time. I'm just thinking out loud here. I could be wrong, alright? So anyway, I'm level 6 now. I got my ultimate. And I'm going back to lane to help out our Black Feather over here, who's doing quite well, I think. I see Catherine over there, so I decided to go in for the fight. And I decided to burn Catherine down as much as I can. She gets stunned there, but still we can't get the kill there, unfortunately. But we do get a very good push out of this. So we decide to go for the golden mine, just because, you know, we have the advantage right now, so might as well. And we managed to get it. Yep, we do. And very nice payout, 205 gold for each of us. And I finally get the money to buy my Frostburn. And I get that armor to guard myself against Ringo. And actually, I think at that point in time, I was thinking, Ringo is definitely the bigger source of danger there. That's why I bought the armor. That's why. But towards the end of the game, Taka started to be a bit of a nuisance. So I decided to get some shield. But that's later on. So back to our good old farming, guys, over here, and it's amazing to see. I was just telling Jico over comms that we had. I was like, man, dude, you're level 6 and I'm level 6 as well. It's quite unusual because usually the jungler would be 2 levels higher than the support, but obviously not in this case. I was like, why, dude? Why are you getting your level so quick? But I guess it's because he's been doing some of the coming up to lane often to gank the enemy, as well as taking some of my farm, which is totally fine with me, to be honest. It's okay. Sometimes Jico has a habit of killing off the minions for me. Weird habit he has. But nice gauntlet there by Jico. We go in and kill off Ringo really quickly, and we take out the minion mines as quickly as we can. There comes the other enemies, and that's Taka. Coming in for the X-Retsu. Did take out almost half my life there together with the Kaiten. So very dangerous now, Taka. He's hitting his power spike right there. Look at that damage. It's like, oh, I need to get away. I was just doing this barrage just in case he was trying to follow me. And so I was safe in the end. I decided to port back to get some of my health back as well. So here we are. So as you can see that I've learned from my previous lesson in my previous episode for my guild ranked play, that I've decided to go with my energy battery early, just right after the Frostburn. And the reason is because, as you know, Sky's abilities, they take up a lot of energy. And you always would want that energy there when you are engaging the enemy, because you can do 4 barrages and then a Suri strike followed by another 4 barrage followed by another Suri strike, and then your ultimate, and you just keep going at the enemy, and that's what you want. So it's important that you manage your energy levels, and in this case I decided to go simultaneous. After Frostburn, I straight away built both my energy battery as well as my piercing shard, which I will build towards a broken myth later. But of course I'm getting this energy battery so that I can keep myself in battle longer. So there we go. And I'm gonna move on to clear the jungle just right here. And nothing going on, nothing exciting just yet. But I do assure you that this game is a slightly more difficult, slightly more exciting than the previous episode. This one was not as straightforward as we would like. So you will see in just a bit, guys. So we decide, okay, they tell us to go onto the enemy side of the jungle. I say, okay, just give us a while. We want to take the farm, and then I see that Blackfeather's dead, and like, okay, then there goes our plans for, yeah, basically there goes our plans for invading their jungle. So we need to defend our turret. Taka gets a good job of getting out of trouble. And here we are just clearing the minion wave so that everything's all good. Okay, so things are good here. We're just pushing and pushing the lane. Okay, all's quiet. So we're just gonna keep doing our thing. And I think I kind of like, I didn't realize Black Feather was on his way, and I was like clearing the lane. I was like, oh, oops, sorry. I left too little for you there. Alright, so once again, just hanging around, just making sure that everything's gonna be okay. We can see that our Black Feather is really aggressive in going in, and he manages to kill Ringo. That must be one of the fastest kills I've seen by a Black Feather. I mean, he just lunges in once and then just does something and then lunges in again. It was crazy. But anyway, so here we go. We're trying to take out the enemy Taka because he saw, I think he saw the Black Feather trying to port out. So he was trying to go for Expressu on him. Fortunately, no one died in our team, so that's good. And here I am just once again doing my job, just keeping the lane pushed. Yep. We don't manage to get the Catherine in that case. She was too quick to get out of my range. So I thought I could lock her down with the ultimate there. So all that's done. We can finally go back to our farming. Yeah, that's right. I was trying to warn Black Feather not to try to do anything crazy just yet. And let us do our farm. Really nothing much going on here. So I decide, okay, I couldn't even buy my Broken Myth. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna save money, guys. I need to rush this Broken Myth because it's amazing. And I notice every time that I go with a Broken Myth, you know how Broken Myth needs 6 seconds to hit its maximum potential. That means the longer you are in battle, the more crystal power you're getting, and it's up to a maximum of 6 seconds. And every time in battle, I do manage to be in there for more than 6 seconds because my 4 barrages and all that takes a lot of time. So it is a given that Sky is one of those heroes that will really synergize very well with the Broken Myth. So I was trying to rush that as quickly as I could. So here we are, just taking out the enemy Catherine. So although we haven't gotten the Taka yet, so we're just a bit skeptical. And this is where I walked right into the bush, and I think Taka had a frostburn on me, or was it Ringo who slowed me down with the Achilles heel shot. I was just so slow, I couldn't get out of position in time, and I was just melted right there on the spot. But the good news is I managed to get my Broken Myth somehow. I managed to afford it somehow, and good. So we're good to go. I got my Broken Myth, that's what I needed. And I'm back in the game again. So far it's 6 kills by us, 2 for them. And I'm looking at the scoreboard. I also do notice that, yes, Taka by this time building his crystal power slowly but surely. So it's scary, and I'll tell you that because I've played a crystal Taka myself before. He is very dangerous. So I do really want to get some shield soon to protect myself against him. So I'm just trying to see what's going on there. Nice play by Black Feather in trying to in taking out Ringo again. This guy's a monster. This Black Feather. He obviously knows what he's doing. So Taka's right there, going in for the Expressu as imagined, and there you go. We managed to hit him down to less than half life, but once again, nothing to account for it. Couldn't do nothing there. So I buy my Void Battery. This is going to give me much more energy, and it's going to help me a lot. So I see Taka burning down the Black Feather there. So I was like, oh, he was busy shopping, he didn't see. So, well, that's unfortunate, but it's okay. We managed to get the Catherine anyhow. Now I have decided to go with the third, basically the overdrive, my ultimate over there, because I feel that if I can land it nicely, it's going to cause a lot of damage to the enemy team. Anyway, there's no need for me to overdrive my forward barrage because I'm not weapon powered. It's only when you overdrive it's only when you are weapon powered does the overdrive on your forward barrage give extra kick. So I decided to put my last point into my ultimate. And nothing going on, so okay, we're just gonna head on down and do some more farming. And I think by now Blackfeather's taken lots of our own farm instead of taking his lane farm. Then again, it's fair because I did take some of his farm too. But that's okay. We're gonna go back to lane and just clear out the mess over there. They did get our turret, unfortunately, and in the process, Blackfeather is being just totally crowded out there. Really bad. I managed to get the Ringo because he was just stepping all over my ultimate there, and I really need to get out. Look at how much damage this Taka is doing to me. It's like, oh man, I'm bleeding. I need to get out. Okay, so good thing is that I didn't die from that battle, but we managed to kill Ringo. Ringo just couldn't get out of my ultimate there, and that's why I put my third point into the death from above. Okay, so I think at this time I finally complete my metal jacket and I got myself some shield, light shield. This is to protect myself from Taka, because from that encounter I knew Taka was now a force to be reckoned with. So I'm gonna just protect myself a little bit. But it's interesting though that Taka would actually decide to go for a Frostburn instead of a Shatterglass, because I don't really see a need for him to slow me down as much, because it's so easy for him to keep up. So I'd rather him get a Shatterglass. But okay, you know, he didn't get one, so that's good. That's to my advantage, so that's not too bad. And I put on down the ultimate right there to catch Ringo and Taka. We managed to bring them down to very little life left. But because Blackfeather is gone, we need to be careful here. So I was warning Jiko to stay out of the area because they were flaring into the bush already. I don't want them to come surprise us again. And he puts another scout trap there just to be safe. And I told him, okay, you know what? I'm half life here. I can't really do much. So maybe I'll just port back. I should be porting back. Should I? Yeah, okay. I see Blackfeather out here. So okay, you know, it's time for me to port back anyway. So I get my kinetic shield. This is going to help me protect myself even more from that Taka. And I head back to lane, because that's where all the action is happening now. They're going to push for sure. And Kraken is out, so we need to be careful. Unfortunately, we don't have any, what do you call that, a vision on the Kraken. So we need to be extra alert on this. Okay, so once again, pushing lane as much as we can. I'm trying to warn him away because the bush has been flared. We don't want to go in too much. Okay. We go down towards the Kraken just to see if anything's going on there. Shouldn't be, because we see both Ringo and Catherine in lane. And finally, he puts a scout trap over there so we can see. And we see from the top of our map that Catherine and Ringo perhaps are trying to push lane as quickly as possible. So in fact, they're already in our jungle as well, so we want to get out of the area as soon as possible too. Yep, okay, so we do get out of the area. We see the three of them there, so we want to know if we can engage. So Jiko goes in, Arden goes in to check. And nothing going on yet, but we do see them on the other side. So it's it's a bit of a standoff here. We're just like, okay, we're just waiting for one person to make the move first before we go in as well. Scary times this, especially how we have to keep going back to clear the lane time and again, because Ringo is there by his lane to clear up the minions. So we need to get out here fast. And there goes the silence by Catherine. I try to catch up with the whole game, so I'm just trying to get around the wall thanks to me targeting the Catherine. I go in for nice gauntlet there by Arden, and we go in for all three of them. I just apply my... Oh, this is where we die actually, because I didn't realize that Blackfeather was dead. And then I went in to try to forward barrage them, not knowing that the Ringo was already targeting me. And by the time I was dead, Arden didn't realize that I was dead. So he kept hitting away like, what? You guys are dead? And we just all just died there. So pretty bad team fight, that one. Could have went better. But I also did realize that Blackfeather, for some strange reason, he finished off Taka really quick, but then after which he just started to run towards Ringo, so much so that he's right in Ringo's face, and he didn't even do any basic attacks whatsoever. I was like, why did he do that? Maybe he was lagging a little bit or something like that, so he just got melted there by Ringo very quickly because he didn't even do anything. So, okay, now they've got the Kraken, so it does look bad for us because now with one turret down, they have the Kraken, they have both minion mines, and we have a lot on our hands. So we're gonna have to fight this somehow. So I was going back up to lane here because I needed to make sure that the Kraken dies fast, and so I try to put out as much damage as I can, but the turret is just gone too fast. We need to retreat back to the next one, which we do, I think. Yeah, so I was like, okay guys, we gotta focus on the Kraken instead. And Ringo puts down his ultimate onto Blackfeather. Blackfeather is quite low, but I put down my ultimate as well to cordon off the enemy so that we can focus on the Kraken there. So that's one of the other methods you can do when you are up against a Kraken and the other team is just barreling down on you. You could also try to use some methods to, you know, just block off the enemy while you focus on the Kraken, because it's important that you do not let the Kraken stay around too long, because that's what the turret is going to aim for. If you can kill off the Kraken fast, that will be advantageous for you, because after which, if the enemy team still decides to engage you, they will have to take on the aggro from the turret. So that's one tip for you guys, because sometimes when I play with other teams, they are just more focused on taking down the enemy team, which shouldn't be. You should focus on, I mean personally, you should focus on the Kraken, especially if the Kraken is already at your turrets. If, for example, there's still a long way before the Kraken actually makes it to your the first turret that you have, the first turret that you have, then maybe you can try to take out the enemy team first, because anyway the Kraken is not hitting any turrets just yet, so maybe you still have time. So that's the only other case where you should go for the enemy team first instead of the Kraken. So just let you know, there is a fine line. So here we go, a huge team fight going in there. We're just going in with every single thing we have. Thankfully for the Gauntlet, Taka is kept out of the fight. Now that's the very important thing about the Gauntlet, because if you know that everyone's inside, then maybe you want to take the fight outside. So hold on guys, I need a call. Sorry about that guys, I had to take a call just now. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I was actually talking about the Gauntlet. So the great thing about Arden's Gauntlet is if you were to be able to kind of like seclude some of the enemy teammates outside of the Gauntlet, then you should stay inside the Gauntlet so that you can protect yourself. For example, in that previous fight just now, we managed to seclude Taka out of the equation so that we can focus on the other two. That actually saved us a lot. So with those of you who are doing Arden out there, remember the Gauntlet is best used if you can try to seclude people out of it. I think partly because we actually got all three inside the Gauntlet, but Taka just made his way out of it, and he couldn't come back in until the Gauntlet was gone. So that was great for us, because we could take on two enemies at a time and then finish off the last one later on if we can. So so the other rule is, if all three of them are inside the Gauntlet and you're a ranged character, then it might do you good if you were to try to be outside of his Gauntlet and shooting inwards, and that way you can prevent the enemies from getting too close to you. So once again, we managed to seclude Taka from the fight. We get to kill off Ringo because he got stunned by the wall, finish off Catherine really fast there. So once again, a great fight that we had that's going to help us turn the tide over here as we come down onto the turret. And once again, Taka wants more, so we give him more. I managed to stun him there with my ultimate, and we close in. I was being focused by the turret, but that's okay, so I'm gonna just pull away from the turret a little bit, and then we go back in to bring down this turret. And this will be the last few fights, guys, because we got the ace, and the death timers at this point in time is pretty long. And being Sky, as well as Blackfeather, you can just basically melt these turrets really quickly. So I think this ended up being GG for us. Yeah. So as you can see, I'm focusing on the other turret while they're doing the other one, just to save time. and I get really low here. I was like, no, come on, quickly put another turret. I don't want to die. I want to join in the fun. Okay, so thankfully, I managed to get the turret down in time, and that was game. So that's the game for us. Went pretty well. It was the last few team fights that really went very well for us. And of course, once again, our Black Feather as OP as ever. Everyone knows if you have a Black Feather on your team, it's basically almost game one. So great job by my teammates, and so hopefully you guys enjoyed that game. This is basically, once again, is a guild ranked match. I'm trying to push my rank up as fast as I can. I'm still working on it, I think, at this point in time. So wish me all the best, guys. I'll see you next time in the next video. Take care.